some differences between marketing in Brazil and marketing in the US. In any situation, Brazil or the US, marketing should always start with the customer. It should start there and end there, because that's it. The customer is the one who can make the decision on accepting whatever we're trying to market or not. So I think that this is the same, Brazil or US. But to reach the customer, you need to understand his or her culture, the way he or she thinks, and the way what really appeals to that customer. And that may be, usually, what appeals is going to be the same, US or Brazil, but how to get there may be a little different. And marketing is not about what you do or what you say. Marketing is about how you make the consumer feel. And one thing very important, if you study the structure of the brain, the part of the brain where we make our decisions is the same part where the feelings are, but not the same part where the speech is or language is. So that's why you have to get into an emotional connection with the consumer. And that's US, Brazil, Russia, or China, because that's the human being. It's not a matter of just listening to the consumer. You have to really analyze and understand the behavior of the consumer, because it shows you ways to get to that emotional place of the brain where decisions are going to be made, right? Businesses that could never go wrong in Brazil until they went wrong because they did not capture our culture. And if there is a big mistake American businessmen have made when going to Brazil and other places, is being too arrogant, is thinking that globalization means doing things the American way in other countries. It doesn't. You have to understand the culture, and you have to adapt. Dunkin' Donuts, we don't dunk things in coffee and eat them. We just don't do that. And don't try to convince me that a Dunkin' Donuts is good for me. Dunkin' Donuts, they had a very short period in which they were successful in Brazil, when they used humor to market their products. And they assumed, first, I remember there was a billboard with a picture of what you would call an O-ring donut. And it would say, calibrate, I hope it's right, your tires. Tires for us is what you would call, at least in the 70s, the love handles. So calibrate your tires. It's eat it and get fat, because it is fattening. Gosh, it's flour, fried flour with sugar and jelly. It is fattening. Don't try to tell me it's healthy. I don't care. But those Americans at the marketing department of Dunkin' Donuts, when they found it out, you cannot admit that a donut is something that's going to make you fat. And then they decided that we should change all that. And then it became a failure. I did work for those people in Brazil, the master franchisee, for some time. And I still remember some lady from the marketing department in somewhere in Massachusetts, where they were located then, the Dunkin' Donuts headquarters. And she was screaming at us because we did not agree to decorate the stores in Brazil for the 4th of July. Because the 4th of July does not mean anything for us. It's just another day. Our Independence Day was yesterday, September the 7th. And we couldn't care less about it either. So don't decorate Brazilian stores with Brazilian flags on September 7th, because we don't care. We just don't care about it. KFC, they tried to convince people in São Paulo to eat fried chicken from a plastic bucket with our hands. Paulistas don't touch food with their hands. We don't touch food. We don't eat pizza with our hands. We use a fork and a knife. If you are going to eat a sandwich in São Paulo, you wrap it with a napkin because you don't touch food. Why? I don't know why. That's the way it is. And don't try to convince me that's the wrong way. That's the way it's always been. Not for you, for us. That's the way it is. Now they are doing well. Oh, they also have taken coleslaw out of the menu. We don't get coleslaw. We don't get mashed potatoes and gravy. We just don't grab that. You eat fried chicken with French fries. And people would say, no, not with French fries. By the way, French fries that we pick with a fork, not the hand. Promotion is probably where you find the biggest differences related to the language we use in commercials. Brazilians love the smart underdog, the anti-hero that outsmarts the big, powerful guy. If they ever had bullfights in Brazil, Brazilians would cheer for the bull. And that's true. So you're going to see a little of that in advertising. So it has a lot to do with how you market things in Brazil. In Brazil, you should use humor, a lot of humor. And you can say harsh truths if you use humor. You can and should use sex or sexy situations, but with humor, never in a vulgar form. Don't do any comparative advertising. Just don't go like, I don't think that even in the US they use it more. You should buy a Ford instead of GM because a Ford is better. We sympathize with the underdog. We will stay with the weakest one. We like the losers. We believe that losers, if given the right opportunity, can become big winners. That's what happened to us.